First things first, why are so many YouTube progressive rock reviews both boring and British? I mean, it must be a prog thing because British doesn't have to be boring. Consider Liam Gallagher. So I was looking up reviews of this album, The Future Bites, because I really wanted to like it. Now let me backtrack a little for context. See, I'm not a huge prog fan. I've been listening more lately, and while I know who Steven Wilson is and what he's done, I've never really listened to his solo work or Porcupine Tree. Beyond Arriving Somewhere But Not Here, which is magnificent. Now, I saw an interview with Steven Wilson where he talked about the concept of this album. How we're becoming more and more isolated and out of touch with others because of technology, because of consumerism, how we live through our phones, how we're losing our sense of self. I mean, it sounds like good stuff, right? Great concept. And what a way for me to get into his stuff by checking out something new at the same time as everyone else is. But there was a problem. The Future Bites is just boring. Concept aside, there's absolutely nothing appealing about the music. I've tried. See, when I listen to it, I've listened to it on walks, while driving, while working out, and I've yet to get all the way through it. The reason that I looked up the other reviews, the boring British ones, was to see if I could find an angle, something I was missing. You know, maybe if I listen to it this way, I'll understand it and appreciate it. No. And see, a lot of Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree fans are disappointed in this album because it's not like his old stuff. I don't have that prejudice. I don't know the old stuff. I just find this dull. The whole album just kind of plods along for the first few tracks. It's not until I get to track 4, called 12 Things I Forgot, that anything even resembling a melody appears. The chorus has a nice, wistful catchiness to it. Unfortunately, the lyrics don't really say anything. The next song, Eminent Sleaze, feels like it wants to have some kind of life with its gospel-y chorus and a kind of quasi-70s funk feel here and there. But it never catches fire. After a minute or so, it barely smolders. Now, on my final listen to this album, I forced myself to stay through the 7th track, Personal Shopper. Some reviewers said that this was the moment the album came together. This would be what I was waiting for. This would change everything. Unfortunately, no. Now, the music of that song was close to being interesting in kind of an old Depeche Mode sort of way. Frankly, the song's a mess. The lyrics are just a list of consumer buzzwords, pre-qualified, noise canceling, responsibly sourced. The vocals, especially the falsetto, are extremely unlikable. And about halfway through, there's a screeching guitar solo that normally would be welcome, but in this song, it just feels like a kitchen sink approach. I couldn't finish the song or the album. Not only is the music of Future Bites uninteresting, tedious actually, but the message sounded like nothing but a cranky old man, like Frederick and Hannah and her sisters telling all the rest of us how we're just stupid sheep. It's a shame. Like I said, I really like the concept of the album, but the delivery reminds me of the Smashing Pumpkins. Like not of the sound of the type of music, obviously. But see, I think Billy Corgan is a fascinating musician who gives great interviews. And every time I hear one of his interviews, I'm inspired to go get into the Pumpkins. Then I start to listen, and they're just horrid. Ultimately, that's what I think of the Future Bites. It's boring.